We saw the UK basketball team going through Pro Day last Sunday, but tomorrow night, it's different. It's Big Blue Madness, the first chance for us to see the UK team introduced, the first real open practice, and we get to see the freshman class in action, at least all but Dante Allen, who is still coming back from injury.
You know, she mentioned something about how the horse would run. We've seen where jockeys have been spilled, and the horse will just run around the track. They will keep going, but for certain, the jockey is there to guide them and get them through traffic.
Absolutely.
So very well said. We're going to continue our coverage here, our special LEX 18 coverage of Kentucky Derby 145.
Thank you so much for joining us. I am Claire Crouch alongside Keith Farmer.
We are just 17 hours away from Kentucky taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies, and it's going to be an exciting game. I truly believe that as the Wildcats meet in the Belk Bowl, noon kickoff tomorrow. Yeah, welcome into True Blue Nashville. We're back in Nashville after a one-year stop in St. Louis. I think True Blue fans are very excited about that. They love coming down here to Nashville, and right now they're ready to see their team win a 32nd SEC tournament title. Welcome back to LEX 18 live at the Citrus Bowl. Keith Farmer joined again by Claire Crouch. And Claire, it's been an awesome season, 9-3 so far. We'd like to see 10-3, but to this point, what's been your favorite moment?
Oh my gosh, there have been so many, but I have to say hands down, it was the end of that Missouri game. Terry to CJ in the end zone, oh my gosh. I mean, I remember screaming at the end of it and be like, we did it, we won. It was just unbelievable.
Your favorite moment? Let's see if it makes our top 5 moments. We join Charlie Walter in the studio as he takes a look at those top 5 moments of the season. Kentucky has won 5 regular season SEC basketball titles under John Calipari, and the SEC media believes Kentucky will make it a 6th this season. The Wildcats are the pick ahead of Florida, LSU, Auburn, and Tennessee. It's also the 9th consecutive season the Wildcats have been named the favorite, and the 15th time since the 99 season. If UK could win it, that would make the 49th overall for the program. The rest of the SEC schools have combined to win 58. Also today, the league announced its all-SEC first and second teams. Ashton Hagans was the only Wildcat to be named to the first team. He returns for his sophomore season after being named SEC Defensive Player of the Year last year. Hagans started 30 of the 37 games and averaged 8 points to go with 61 steals. That tied Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for third most in program history. UK also has Tyrese Maxey and E.J. Montgomery on the second team All-SEC. Speaking of Maxey, he's one of 20 players on the watch list for the Jerry West Award. That goes to the top shooting guard in the country. There are only 2 freshmen on the list and 6 players in all from the Southeastern Conference. Maxey is also expected to play some point guard this season for the Cats as well. Well, no surprise here on the women's side. UK forward Ryan Howard has been named to the first team All-SEC in the preseason. She was the unanimous selection as Freshman of the Year last year after averaging 16 points and 8 rebounds per game. Matthew Mitchell's Wildcats are also the 4th pick in the SEC behind South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. The UK football team is getting ready for Saturday's game at Georgia. Now, kickoff selected for 6 o'clock, and it's on ESPN. After beating Arkansas, Coach Stoops joined Rich Brooks as the 5th winningest coach at Kentucky. It would take him 2 more wins to join Jerry Claiborne and Blanton Collier in a tie for 3rd.
Appreciative of the win and the staff and all the guys. And, you know, last week, honestly, you know, this is all internally. Everything, you know, when we talk about, you know, how you feel under pressure, it's not pressure. You know, we put, you know, it's hard on us. You know, it's hard on our coaches, on our, you know, players, because we invest a lot.
All right, here are your choices this week for Game of the Week. It'll take place right here in Lexington because of where your selections are. Go to the LEX 18 High School Sports Zone Facebook page to make your vote. LEX 18 News. We'll be right back. All right, thanks, Kyle and Charlie Walter joining me again. We looked at the key player earlier. Now we're going to look at the key plays, and really it comes down to that last drive.
18 plays spanning over 80 yards. Really reminded you of that Tennessee game, because remember, they milked the clock in that one. They went all the way down to the 1. They couldn't get the job done. But in this one, I thought when it was that 4th and 6 play, you knew they had to pass it because Tech was going to stuff the box, and they completed that slant to Josh Ali. That was the first crucial play. Then they faced another 4th down just a few seconds later, and Bowden with the, let's call it the wolf push.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it was as we take a look at it, at that drive. And it started off with that 4th and was it a little bit like long, like 4th and 6?
I believe, yeah.
And that was the Josh Ali catch, and that was pretty amazing because he had to go down low to get his hands underneath it.
I thought they may review it, and that's how the game would end.
I thought so too. And after that, then you had the 4th and 2. And that was the Mason Wolf push because you needed 2 yards. It looked like Lynn got 1, and all of a sudden you saw Mason just grab him, just pull him across for another yard or 2. And then it was just the incredible touch that Lynn had on that final pass.
But even when you got to that point, you're at the 13-yard line, you have 20 seconds left, and you have 1 timeout.
Yeah.
And you figure, all right, they're probably not going to they're probably not going to complete a pass here.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to somehow get this ball into the end zone without completing a pass. And then surprising there, I believe what was it, 2nd or 3rd down? I know it wasn't 4th, but the touch, the precision, they were supposed to go with the over-the-top ball to Wagner. And the smarts from the quarterback, Vince Mara, was just so praiseworthy of him, saying, how about Bowden in the moment, seeing what he had over the right corner and just floating it right in there. Breadbasket, touchdown, Kentucky wins.
Not only that, but the key to it was that it was so high that it was either going to be caught or it was going to be out of bounds. There was no way it was going to get intercepted.
This place erupted.
It did. And then you also got to kind of throw in that defensive play at the end because they were throwing the ball all over the place. You never know what miracle you could get. And then you end up, Jordan Wright takes it. He thought, do I run it back or do I go down? And end this.
That was an incredible way to end it. But let's give some props to Matt Ruffalo because the extra point, it's no gimme in college football. The pressure was on him, and he sunk it.
All right, more LEX 18 at the Belk Bowl will continue right after this. George Weaver and Danny Gargan both trying to do that. Both men grew up just outside of these walls of Churchill Downs and used to walk over here to watch Kentucky Derby, so they would certainly love to be the one to walk away with the garland of roses today. We'll see if that happens at about 6:46 later on tonight. Meanwhile, the Stars attending the Kentucky Derby starting to roll in here at Churchill Downs.
It is a great event.